We have another thing that we can't talk about though, which is the first archetype out of the next deck building set, which is called Raizeol. Raizeol. Deck building sets, you know, the ones with 3 archetypes, like like amazing defenders and stuff like that. 3 new archetypes. One of them this time around is a level 4 fire-based strategy, it looks like. We got Sword Raizeol, level 4 Fire Thunder, 200 defense for kindling target, Pog Champion. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. If you have a Raizeol monster in your field or in your graveyard, on your field or in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If summoned this way, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except rank 4 monsters. If this card is normal or specialed, you can add a light pyro monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, so this itself is a Fire Thunder. I'm assuming they have... Okay, they got light pyros. Okay, they're not just fire. Okay. We're starting off with a very cookie cutter card. Very simple. Normal summon this guy and get your stuff going. Or if you can already do stuff, it also is a special summon. Very good card to have. It'd be a shame if the next card would just be... It'd be a shame if the next card was just like Poplar. No, I like this. This is powerful. They're very good. Very promising start for a new archetype. We got Node Raizeol, level 4 Fire Thunder. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can only use the second effect once per turn. If you have an Exceed monster on your field or in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If summoned this way, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except rank 4s. You can send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target a Raizeol monster in your grave, special summon it in defense position, but its effects are negated. Alright. Not as good as the first one, but a solid extender. It's not searchable by this guy, so you can't like... maybe there's other searching capabilities, but as of now, from what I've seen... you can't just play one and just search it, but like it seems like a solid card. Depending on what else they have. We got Ice Raizeol. This one is a light pyro monster and it's called Ice. Okay, noted. You can only special summon with the first effect once per turn. You can only use the second effect once per turn. You can special summon this card from your hand by sending 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard. If summoned this way, you're locked into rank 4s. If this card is normal summoned, you can special summon a Raizeol monster from your deck. I mean, this is obviously good. This is obviously really, really strong. My question is how do these effects don't make sense together, right? Like why would I special summon this card from my hand if it only activates on normal summon? This is also a bonfire target, by the way. Backup plan, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's okay to have the option, but like if I draw this card, I always want to normal summon it. This is really good, but I want to point out that one little like weird thing about this is the fact that like this is your best normal summon. This is your quote-unquote Stratos of the deck. This searches this, but then if you use your normal summon on this, then you can't normal summon this anymore, which is a little awkward, but still, this is a good card, obviously. So one obvious thing that you could do, I guess, is you could start by normal summoning Ice, special Sword, and then Sword adds another light pyro, at which point you could, I guess, add another Ice, which can be an extender. But you also have the option to add X Raizeol, which is another level 4 light pyro. You can only special summon with the first effect once per turn. You can only use the second effect once per turn. You can special summon this card from your hand by sending an Xyz monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. Okay, what can we do with this? Any Exceed. There has to be a crazy thing that we can do. Aggregator. Okay, we go second. We can negate a card on the board. All right, not bad. Is there something cool we can do going first? I guess you can send Toad if you were playing water monsters, but it doesn't look like they have any. But okay. If this card is normal or special summoned and all face-up monsters you control are level 4 or rank 4, you can add a Fire Thunder from your deck to... Oh! These guys are good. This guy is just a special summon that lets you add and send an Xyz from the extra deck to the graveyard. These are like pretty much all of these are bangers so far. The worst one is this guy, which is the wolf bark, I suppose. And there's more even. Okay, we got Palma, level 4 Fire Thunder. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned by shuffling a Raizeol monster from hand or graveyard into the deck extra deck. It locks you into rank 4 while it's on the field. Once per turn, if this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation, you can send a level 4 monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard. And if you do, this card gains attack equal to that monster's until the end of the battle phase. Okay, so this is probably the worst one so far, but it's just a fine extender that recycles resources back into your deck or extra deck. And it can actually foolish any level 4 monster. So this seems fine, right? The fact that this is the worst card we've read so far is pretty powerful, honestly. But okay. And obviously a rank 4 themed deck would have rank 4s. Rank 4 Fire Thunder, Raizeol Duodrive, 2500 attack, needs 2+ level 4 monsters, so it's generic. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can attach a Raizeol monster from your graveyard to this card as material. So it essentially, if you have stuff in the grave already, it can jump out as a rank, as one with 3 materials. For each material attached to this card, monsters you control gain 100. Also, monsters your opponent lose 100. During your main phase, you can detach 2 materials from your Xyz monsters. And if you do, add 2 Raizeol cards with different names from your deck to your hand. Huh? So we got like super efficient level 4 bodies. They are really good at spamming and creating card advantage and making rank 4s for free. And then they got a rank 4 that just adds 2 cards. That's powerful. Look, the only reason why I'm not popping off and calling this completely batshit crazy, and I'm not calling them insane for making these, is because a lot of these cards actually lock you into rank 4 for the rest of the turn, which means you can't convert this into like a generic Appaloosa, IP Masquerena, Promethean Princess because they're fire, all that kind of stuff. You can't make that happen with this deck, right? Like this, and no Zeus even, because it's that's not a rank 4. It's not even Xyz that it locks you into. It locks you into rank 4 specifically. So this is good. That doesn't mean that it's a bad deck or anything like that. But I just feel like it's very important that they have these restrictions, because otherwise, you know, this would be very troublesome. But I mean, obviously, this is a good card. Detach 2 to grab 2 more monsters from your deck, or cards even. I don't know if they have good spell traps. Really, really strong. They have another option as well. This one does need Raizeol monsters. Deadnader. You can only use the first and third effect once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can attach a monster from your graveyard to this card as material. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can detach a material from this card, then target a card on the field, destroy it. And this is not once per turn. I mean, this is a really nice endboard piece. This is a really nice endboard piece. Keep in mind, you make this with 2 level 4s. It attaches a third one on summon, so this comes out with 3 materials. And if your opponent doesn't have a way to get rid of it immediately, you can just pop multiple cards over the course of the turn. It's not just a... You can't activate it at any given moment. Your opponent has to play into it, quote unquote. Kind of like it has this kind of SP Little Knight mechanic to it where you always have to wait for your opponent to do something to respond to it. It is significantly harder to run over this than run over Little Knight because it's 3000. So chances are you can very consistently get 1 or 2 pops out of this, I feel like. No, I like this a lot. But I don't think this is too powerful though. This is strong, but I don't think it's too strong. It's very good. It also has, if an Xyz monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach a material from this card instead. So it's got this like protection Zen mains effect. Yeah, this is a good archetype. And you know why I'm a little bit... I'm not surprised per se, but you know how deck building archetypes very often release in kind of like an okay state and then become a lot stronger with future support? Like I'm thinking Pearly, Rescue Ace, those kind of decks, right? It feels like this is just good right out of the pack. Like first release, this is playable. Like I mean, we still have spells to react to, but this is already a really solid core. Without being, I want to say without being too broken at my first impression. They are really good cards, but like the thing is, I'm comparing it in my head. I'm comparing it to like, well, is it as problematic as Snake Eyes? And my first thought is like, no, it's not, because you're locked into rank 4s. Like your end board options are going to be limited because of that. Because like what good end board pieces do they have in the rank 4 pool, right? They're gonna make a Deadnader. You got Dweller, maybe. You don't really want to make Baguska, because if you're making Baguska, everything else that you have is irrelevant, right? But yeah, Giant Hand, Rafflesia. I mean, look, if I can play against a deck which end board piece is like a Rafflesia and a Deadnader, I feel like we're okay, guys. I feel like we're okay. I feel like if that's the kind of end board that this deck makes, even if it makes it in an efficient way, I'm okay with that, all right? It is also worth noting, I think this is a thing that is not to be underestimated. This deck gets destroyed by Mulcharmy Parelia. Right? This deck gets completely obliterated because all of them have effects to special summon from hand if you want to extend further, right? That is worth pointing out. And that might be why they make these cards very efficient and a little stronger, because this deck gets completely shit on by that card, right? So, but it's cool. I like it. I like this so far. We got Raizeol Plug-in, a quick play spell card. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Target 1 Xyz monster or a Raizeol monster in your graveyard or banishment, special summon it. Then you can attach a Raizeol card from your deck to your rank 4 monster as material. Also, you cannot declare attacks for the rest of the turn except with rank 4s. Okay, so this is not a starter card, but they already have plenty starters. Keep in mind that they also have bonfire targets, so I don't think consistency should be an issue for this deck. They have a quote-unquote extender, like a revival card. You can revive any Xyz with this and even give it a material, right? Like any Xyz that you've made previously, you can just bring it back and give it a material and use it again, right? That's pretty nice. So not only can you use it on your main deck monsters, but you can also revive like your Detonators, your Duodrives, your other like Abyss Dwellers. Like, let's say you only have room in your extra deck for 1 Abyss Dweller, but you run into a matchup where you really want to use it again. You can just revive it with this. Yeah. Bring back Baguska in the enemy's turn. I mean, yeah, you can revive Baguska in defense position and attach a material to it. The problem with this deck is like... So, the idea would be you make Baguska on your first turn combo, but you don't want to end on Baguska because it negates all your other stuff. So you put the Baguska into the graveyard somehow. The problem is you can't just like link off the Bagooska if you're locked into rank 4s, right? Like you can't actually get the Bagooska into the graveyard to revive it at some point, but yeah. But I wouldn't focus too much on Bagooska. I think this deck would play Bagooska, but only as like a literal plan B. So yeah. Why is this called Hole Thruster? Why is the last card called Raizeol Hole Thruster? Anyways, normal trap card. You can use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Target face up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Raizeol Xyz monsters you control. Destroy them. Then you can attach a Raizeol card from your grave to your rank 4 Xyz monster as material. You can banish this card from your grave. Immediately after this effect resolves, Xyz summon monsters you control, including a Raizeol monster. So this is just Ritual Beast Steeds, right? But for Raizeol Xyz, and it gives you more Xyz material. Like, let's say if your Deadnader has 3 materials when you make it, you start using it on your opponent's turn. At some point you use this card, and then you can attach one back, so you get an extra pop, and then you can banish it from the graveyard to make an Xyz summon. This is a solid trap card. Especially considering the fact that this searches any Raizeol card. I think I would very much expect to see at least one of this in the deck. Yeah. This is a whole normal trap card. I mean, you wouldn't look, you would, that's true. That's interesting. Does it count for like, does Rafflesia say trap hole or hole trap? Any whole normal trap. Okay. So you can, if you don't get to search this card, you could just play Rafflesia in this deck because it's a generic rank 4. And if you have other Raizeol Xyz, you can just send this card. Oh, that's not bad. I wonder if that's intentional. I wonder if that's intentional or not. The Japanese also matches. Okay, well that's interesting. I mean, yeah, you could imagine it. Like, that means you can play Rafflesia in this deck without even having to play other non-Raizeol like trap hole cards, which normally you don't want to. You wouldn't want to put trap cards into the deck. You can just play one of this, and you either search it if you can, or you search other stuff and then make a Rafflesia and you can still access it. That seems good. This is a cool archetype. I like this. I'm a fan of this. I have nothing to complain about, literally. There's no stupid Omni Negate. The deck feels like it has proper locks, but it does not feel like it gets completely ruined by those locks. Like, I don't think, this does not seem unplayable to me because it's locked into rank 4. It feels very much about right. Like, this is what I would expect a new archetype to look. This is fine. There's no card here that's garbage, that doesn't fit in the archetype. They got, yeah, no, that's nice. Give me more of that. This is cool. And keep this in mind, because of what I said earlier, this is the first wave in a deck building pack. Deck building pack archetypes usually get pretty good support in main sets. Think of Pearly, think of Rescue Ace, all that kind of stuff, right? Even Memento got good support. Centurion got solid support. Centurion, I was hoping for better support, but yeah. They usually treat these archetypes pretty well with upcoming support. Is all I'm gonna say. And this is already pretty strong. You know, like you got bonfire synergies, you got very strong cards, you got good extra deck options, you got very good spell trap cards. Solid. Solid. I can only hope that by the time that Raizeol releases, we can actually play with Archetype like this, and we don't have to suffer through Fiendsmith and Snake Eye levels of broken anymore. I really hope that that is not the norm anymore when this stuff comes out.